Well, I apparently froze again, and I thought I'd just run and stuff because if you're looking, you can find me again. That's what they say. I didn't take too much time to put it up. Anyway, I'm not sure where I actually frozen, but I'm going to go back to this particular symbol here, or this card that I was reading. So if you've run into what's called number two, please go back and look at number one. So in every moment, in every experience, there is a teaching. And the key with that, that makes it so exciting, is that no matter what occurs or what happens, is that you are, what's the word I want to say, that to be cognizant and present as to whether you're coming from an absolute part that says this is how it is, or are you open to hearing what's being said so that you're joining in the conversation with a certain perspective of how it's going. The next card that I had, and if you haven't heard, if you didn't know about number one, I picked 6 different cards with my trusty pendulum this morning, and so I'm just reading them out. This is one of my favorite sayings, actually. As above, so below. As within, so without. Everything I see is a reflection of me. And how that is that it's a reflection of you is because of our perceptions, how we perceive things, how we perceive all of what's happening and occurring. We are constantly making judgments. We are constantly putting this versus that. Do I support this? Do I support that? Do I believe in this? Do I believe in that? Now, you may not even be aware most of the time that that's happening. But if that is happening, then what is you're doing is that it is a reflection of you, because that's what we do. We look at something and we reflect it onto the internal. And there was once one of the cards back, 2 cards, which was I make all my decisions with the help of ego or the help of spirit, showing that, very often we are locked into our belief structures based on our childhood, based on what we're being taught, what all the events that have occurred, all of that's happening. But if we have a sense of the spirit, if we have a sense of love vibration, if we have a belief that there is a greater power, then that makes a big difference when we begin to be aware of our judgments. Our judgments are sprinkled all over the place. That's too loud, that's too quiet, that's too this, that's too that. All of those are judgments. And where do they come from? They come from our learning through life, and where we have made a snap decision at some point of time that's gone into the bank of how we could call that ego word. I don't use at all, but it is out there, people. And if you see somebody who's very egotistical, you can tell right away, because they're not in touch with the other elements of who they are. So the last one I had, which would actually bring us probably to the time I usually spend on a Sunday morning, to love is to be happy with. When I enjoy and appreciate myself as I am, and you as you are, I feel happy and loving right now. What a wonderful way of starting. And for those of you that may have missed number one, I went through my big box, pulling out using my pendulum. It got divided into 2 piles. Just yes or a no, which is all a pendulum ever does, is a yes or a no. Or I do a few other things with it, but basically it's a yes or no. Now, the key then was what I had separated. Then I went through and I picked 6, but the same thing using yes or no. And we got 6. This was the last one, and I really like it. To love is to be happy with. When I enjoy and appreciate myself as I am, and you as you are, I feel happy and loving right now. And I am disappointed that we had freezing happening in about I'm not sure, 6 to 8 minutes, I think, which is really ridiculous. Maybe it was a little longer. We're already up to 5 minutes on this one. We thought in some ways that we had dealt with that, but I guess not. So the journey continues. I appreciate everybody who follows. And Karen, thank you, thank you, thank you. You put it up with that I'd frozen, number one. I had no idea. Usually it's a little sign that runs across, and that's when I know I've frozen. So that's usually my signal that I've frozen. And then you guys come in and say you're frozen, which I appreciate. So then you said, well, you're frozen. I went, wow, okay. So I did it very fast this time. I usually, because there's several things you have to fill out before you start up, and I didn't. I just said, oh, the heck. And I just put it down as number 2. That's all I'm going to do. Number 1 and number 2. I have, here we are, when you think about it, we're now nearly going into the end part of August. It's unbelievable to me that how quickly things that we've had very, very hot weather here. Now it's calmed down. To me, it's quite, but I opened my back door this morning when I said it's where I work is right near my back door. And there sitting on a table that I have on my patio is this beautiful big pot of yellow flowers. I love yellow, and it's just beautiful. So that made my morning right there. So that was really good. Anyway, Karen, thank you so much for finding me again and putting in. And just want you to know I appreciate you. And Leroy came in very early, and if he catches up with this, great. If not, that's fine too. But I will be back Monday night for mental mind treatments, which is, cannot imagine not doing that. So we'll get back into prayers and see if we can find out why we did this thing today. Blessings. Love you all. And Karen, special ones to you, dear.